Yeah, we met online. S- Spent 3 or 4 weeks emailing back and forth. Eventually met.
Actually, we spoke for about an hour on the phone
Oh,
a couple of weeks beforehand, and then we met. Because I was the one that clicked on the link for him anyway, so I made the first move. So it was his smile that I was attracted to. But obviously his personality after that when we got together.
well, yeah. Like she said, she clicked on me actually. So, but yeah, I like the look. I just overall look, and it went from there. I think, and it was her personality that I got to know through talking to each other. So by the time we got to meet, we already knew that we were quite compatible because it got rid of all that awkwardness you have when you first start dating someone.
When he first went into hospital, there was different case scenarios of how his illness would progress, and they said to me, worst case scenario, he would need a heart transplant, and that was always at the back of my mind, but never really thought about it. So it was always there. And then Matt was told, I don't know, about a month after he was in hospital, that he was going to a different hospital, and it was a transplant ward that he was going to. He didn't say anything to me because he was trying to keep me in the dark so I wouldn't get hurt, and the nurse handed me a brochure about transplants. I'm like, what do I need this for? And it went from there. I mean, I kept it at the back of my mind until it happened, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, it's not happening. It can't be happening. But we got through it, and it was a struggle. A hard struggle for everybody. But proof's in the pudding, because here he is now.
I had my head buried in the sand a lot of the time, to tell you the truth, with the whole process. What really brought it home to me was when my consultant came into my hospital room at Harefield with about 5 or 6 other doctors and went, "This is it. There's no decision about it now. We want to list you for if you're agreeable for transplant." That's when it really sort of hit home. And I believe at the time I was on my own as well.
You were, because you called for, you didn't want to hear anymore until like your mum and dad and I'd got there, and all the doctors that were there in the morning all came in as well, and surgeons, and it was a room full of people. And I'll be honest with you, it was all going over because I didn't really, I tried to listen, but it was just so much to take in. And you don't want to think of the person that you love having to go through something quite so, well, at the end of the day, life-threatening, because they can't guarantee that person's going to live, 1, to see that they're going to get a transplant, and 2, they're going to die in the operating room, or after. And it's just a different horrible feeling than knowing that person's ill. Oh, it's horrible.
Ever since, obviously, I was ill in the hospital, and just how much she did and how well you handled it during that time just brought home to me that, definitely this is the one.
Once he was transferred to the specialist hospital, they were brilliant. They involved me in everything. And they involved the children in everything, even like saying that we could have used Skype for Matt to talk to the children when he was in hospital. We never actually needed it in the end, but they were really, really good. Our local hospital did what they could, but it was just far too advanced for them. So they were very much in the dark as we were. From him getting ill last year to transplant now, it's just over a year.
Yeah.
So he actually became ill May last year.
Yeah, and put on the list about just end of July.
6 weeks, almost to the day you're on the list.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed off the ward basically the whole time. I wasn't one of these people that was waiting at home for the call or anything.
No, we had 4 months of Matt being in hospital.
Yeah. Everything, touch wood, has gone A1 okay. It's not been any setbacks.
Leaps and bounds since, really. It's almost as if it was fate and it was meant to be. Because there's been no problems at all.
No.
Well, you do think about it, but it's I don't know, it's what I've got now. I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't be happy now. My children wouldn't be happy. But lots of people, lives have completely changed. Completely. For the better. but I don't know how you feel.
They're very strong people to do it. Obviously, I've watched a few different programmes since, and there was especially one on TV about they actually waived the anonymity of all the different the donor and the recipients. I found it very moving, and just if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So obviously, I've got a lot of respect and very thankful that there's people out there that have got that strength to do that.
We've been away for a few weekends. I want to go abroad, but Matt can't go abroad yet.
Not allowed to go abroad for a first year afterwards. So we've got a holiday planned, but it's with the kids in October.
We wanted to do a romantic one, but the children missed out on so much last year with Matt being poorly that we wanted to include them with everything this year. So all the romantic stuff will happen next year. It's put on the back burner for a while.
That'll be my first heart birthday, as such.
If the Queen can have 2 birthdays, so can you.
Yeah.